Hi, I'm Ali and welcome to the China Repair Studio. And so today I thought I would glue this beautiful Femelle Rose bowl back together again. Now in my last two videos I have actually taken it apart because it was glued very badly. Also it did have a few pins in it which was stabilizing it and keeping it together. So we've taken it apart, we've taken the pins out, and in my last tutorial we actually put some Milliput into the holes where the pins were, because for me I would say it's more of a weak point. So we've filled it in. Now again, if you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe, please like, and also please share. Right, so I thought today I'm just going to finish sanding the Milliput where the pins were, and then we're going to glue it back. So without further ado, now as you can see I've already started sanding, otherwise you'd be listening to a lot of scraping around. It's not exactly ASMR. Now what I used is a 180, and this is a sandpaper. It's waterproof, a German make, and I tend to use this brand. Now on the back it does say what grade it is. As I say, when I use 180, again you take a small piece off, and this is quite coarse so it'll be quite quick. Now to sand, as you can see here, you can see there's a little bit here. You just want to just take a small amount and sand along. And then on the next piece, and then on the rest. Now when you're sanding with this, you want to make sure, because it's going to be glued inside, that it is 100% flat. If it's slightly protruding, if it's got a slight bump to it, the glue when it goes onto is going to be fine, but when you glue it back together, the two pieces, they're not going to adhere so well. They're going to, you're going to have the bump in the way, if you like. So you want to get it as flat as possible for a tighter fit as possible. So we'll just finish off this bit, and we'll take the other piece. There was a piece here, and you just want to make sure that it's nicely flat. And the best way to actually test this is to close your eyes and feel where you've sanded. It just makes it easier to tell, funny enough, because all your senses are on that touch of, is it flush? Now once we're happy with that, I will then get the glue. Now the glue I tend to use, I'll show you down here, I like the Araldite slow release glue, and it's a two-part epoxy. So put 50% of this and 50% of this, mix it together, and we'll apply it. Now also we will tape it up, and the tape I like to use is a Scotch tape. You don't really want sellotape, because it does tend to leave sort of a sticky residue, and also if you do have a piece which has gilding on, try to avoid any gilding, because even with the Scotch tape, if you put it onto the gilding, when you take it off, it will actually take the gilding off with it. Right, now I tend to save all these little, this is a milk bottle top, and so then we can put our glue in there. So what I'm going to do, if I can get something to show you, if I take these boxes here, oops, so you can see. So here's the top and the glue. Now I tend to mix it with a cocktail stick, and then we apply it with a cocktail stick as well. Now what you want to do, take off this one first and just drop it in. I'm going to put quite a bit in because it's quite a large surface. There we go. Put that back on straight away. Now Araldite does come in various other forms, well, in sort of strength or quickness of drying. I prefer the slow release, as I've said before, because it gives you time to adjust. So here we go, here's the other one here, and then just add another half in there. Slightly more of a cloudy colour to it. The other one was more yellow. And then put this one, and then you want to mix thoroughly. So we get our cocktail stick and then mix. Now, usually when I glue onto pieces, I use titanium dioxide powder, which is a white powder, which would make it obviously slightly whiter in the glue. I tend to use that all the time, but today I've decided not to, because the bowl is such a large piece and we want the glue to be as strong as possible. I'd rather not use the titanium dioxide powder. Using the titanium dioxide powder, it does tend to weaken the glue. You're okay if you put a little bit in, but the more you put in, obviously the weaker it becomes. So I'm not going to use the powder today, I'm just going to use the glue. Right, so when that is nicely mixed together, we'll get our pieces. Now, it's quite a funny shape, this, and it's trying to figure out how to do it first. And I think because the bowl is like that, if I just put it together like this and glued it back together, I just think it might suddenly go like that, want to splay out. So first of all, I'm going to glue it the other way round, then prop it back up. So then we have a sellotape, the tape on both sides. So if I can get my piece here, I have to hold on to this because it's, actually I'll put it down there, and then get my piece here. It's quite a large piece, so it's quite tricky. And then I just want to put it together first, see how it fits. I might have to stand up for this. Now, as you can see, that's fitting in quite and slotting in quite nicely. So what I'm going to do now is take this, actually I'll take this one apart. Now, when you glue, you just want to glue one side. Never glue both sides. If you glue two sides, a bit like magnets, if you put it together, it will pull apart. So you just want one side glued, then put on the other part, and then hold tightly. So what I'm going to do now is take my glue, I'll do it so you can see, and then I'm just going to start gluing all the way along. I'll put it down there. So quite a large amount. You want it thick, you don't want it too thick though, otherwise you're not going to have such a tight join. And you want to go all the way along. Now, if you live in a warmer country, when you glue, the glue will be thinner, which actually you do get a tighter fit, obviously depending on the temperature of the glue and also the temperature of the piece that you're gluing. So because here obviously we're in England and it's quite chilly, although I do have the heating on, it's slightly thicker than if I was in a hotter climate. Right, so that's that part there. You want to make sure when you glue that you glue every single part. You don't want to leave anything out. Let me take some more. Then glue there. It's quite good to do this in the light so you can actually see where you've been. You want to glue also where the holes were. So again, take a big dollop. Let's probably start there and work our way along. Now, Aerosite glue takes about 24 hours to set, but for it to set really well, I do like to leave it, for a good few days. The longer you leave it, the harder it sets. And because this is such a large piece, we want to make sure that it's not going to be going anywhere and having any movement, so I'll probably leave it to set for a good week or so. More there. And again, you just move all the way along, just go all the way along, like that. And then another piece there. Right. We do actually have a few cracks, not as well as cracks, we've got a couple of missing pieces. So on the next video I will really put any sort of cracks, and we will also fill in some pieces as well. And then the last stage will be something a bit different. Right, so we've glued one side. Now I'm just going to take a tiny bit more glue and just make sure that I haven't missed any surface. And along the edge, just move it around. Because it's slow setting, we've got a bit of time to play. And it just goes all the way there. And just double check. If it goes over, it's fine. We can wipe it over with some kitchen roll afterwards. Right, so there we are. We've glued one half. So I'm going to place it down. You want a flat surface. Obviously this is such a large piece. And then we're going to take our other part and then gently put it together. Right, now you want to sort of hold it down, squeeze it in and press in. At this point you could get some kitchen roll, and if there's any bits of glue which has come out, which is good, you just want to wipe that. You just want to keep looking and assessing and keep squeezing. Make sure any surplus glue has come away, because then it'll be tighter. Right, so then once we've done that, we're going to take our tape, and if you hold it on one side, I'm going to start from the top here and then press it, push it here, my leg, and then really tighten it so it's lovely and tight, so it's really going to hold in. If you just do it loosely, you've got too much give, so you want a really tight fit. I'm going to take some more, do another one on the inside. I might have to just use my leg and say, because it's such a large piece, and I'll do one more on this side for the base. Right, and then we'll get on to this side here. So you take our tape, hold it on one side, and then where you can see the join, again you just want to hold it, squeeze it in tight, make sure it's nice and level, and then really get that tight. And you can go by feel as well. Again, if you onto that, and then really hold it and really pull the tape. I think I'll do 3 on this side here. So I'm quite lucky this doesn't actually have any gold gilding, so it is easier. And then again, hold tight. And then we'll just do this side, and then we're going to flip it over and go from the other side. Again, you just want to keep looking, keep holding, pressing. Just do 2 more on this side. And 1 more. Also, very importantly, make sure when you are doing this stage that your hands are really clean and your fingernails, because you don't want any dirt going into the glue. Right, okay, so now we have I've got 9 pieces of tape, and that's taped up. So now I'm just going to turn it the other way to make sure it's aligned from the inside, because obviously, you know, I'm quite happy with this side, but we do need to go the other way as well. I may turn it back up afterwards, as I say, because the bowl shape, it's going like that. So we'll just see, let's say, just because of the sheer size of it. Be very gentle. Right, now I'm going to take a piece of sellotape, well, scotch tape. Again, do what we did on the inside from the outside, hold it really tight, and then take some more. I like to start from the middle and work my way out. Now, during the next few hours, I can keep going back to the bowl and just making sure, keep pressing it, making sure there's any surplus glue is going to be coming out, and making sure that it's nice and in alignment. Because of the erudite being slow release, it just gives you so much more wiggle time. Again, really press hard. Obviously, if you have smaller pieces, which majority of pieces are, to be honest, this is quite extreme, it is easier. And the last one here. So again, I'd hold it, grab, let's make sure that's nice and tight. Pull as hard as you can so it's really tight on there. Right, now let's have a look. And then just want to feel, again, you can go by feel to make sure you've got really nice, that there's a tight fit and there's no bits out of alignment. And that's feeling quite good. Again, if you have any surplus glue, just take a damp kitchen cloth and just wipe the glue off. You don't want to be leaving it once it's dry, because then you'll be chipping it off and you could damage your piece. So you want to do that while the glue is wet, but make sure it's a damp piece of clean kitchen roll or cloth. Now, I'm quite happy with that. That look from the other way. That actually seems to be holding them well, quite well together. I might just do 1 or 2 more pieces just to make sure. Again, really tighten that. I think I'm going to keep it upright. I wasn't sure which way to go, but it seems quite firm, as I say, and it's because it's such a tight fit, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And one last bit there. Again, hold it. There we go. Right, I'm quite happy with that. Now again, as I said before, I'm going to come back to this in a few hours' time and see if there needs to be any adjustments at all. Again, give it another press, make sure it's really in tight, because the tighter it is, the more likely it's not going to break, and it's just going to be, you know, as one whole. It'll be so much stronger. So there we are, we've glued our lovely bowl. So I will see you in the next video, and in the next video we're going to be milliputting and filling in a few cracks, and yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Again, if you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe, please like and please share, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.